You're listening to localwebradio.fm. Community-minded, locally focused.
Are you a hardworking business owner striving for success online? There is help. Welcome to the School of Internet Marketing podcast, featuring candid conversations and inspiring stories of online success. Now here's your host.
Hello, I hope that everybody is having a great day. I am your host, Nick Jaworski, and today I'll be continuing my discussion with James Martell, founder of the School of Internet Marketing and VP of Product Development for jambMEDIA. Today's topic, online reviews, why they are vitally important for your internet success and how to easily get more of them. Now, before James joins us, just a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance, you can reach James's team at jambMEDIA and the School of Internet Marketing at 604-542-0747. James Martell has taught tens of thousands of business owners how to effectively market their businesses online through his ebooks, courses, live trainings and webinars, podcasts, and speaking engagements. James, as always, it's great to be talking with you again today.
Hey, good afternoon, Nick.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of things, and in recent episodes, we talked about the importance of citations and claiming directory listings. So how do online reviews fit into this larger puzzle we've already talked about?
Yes, online reviews is a very, very interesting topic, and one that I just had an experience with over this past weekend. Very interesting story. We've talked, I think, earlier episodes about this little pub that we do some work for.
Yep.
Called Sawbucks, and long story short, they had a very negative review come on to Urban Spoon over the weekend, and I must say that it's a nasty one.
Uh-oh.
Now, fortunately, there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of really good ones, but this one happens to be sitting right at the very top of the pile, and it's the first one you see when you get in. So what essentially happened, and I think we could probably use this as an example as we have our discussion today, but what happened was we've been handling a lot of their social media, and they had a gentleman come in who his name is Bobby Bruce, and he's a Neil Diamond impersonator and a really good one. He just got back from a tour of Europe and Australia. He's that caliber of entertainer, and he's just amazing. And we cranked up the marketing as far as sending out the emails to the email newsletter list, announcing it. A couple emails went out. We did a great deal of marketing through Facebook and Twitter. And lo and behold, Saturday night comes along and the place just got hammered. It was wall-to-wall people, too crowded, and as a result, service started to suffer. And it was a great event, and Rod, the owner, always does a great job, but this just happened. We weren't quite expecting to be so full on the Saturday night, and it resulted in one negative review. And it's a good reminder that people generally don't leave positive reviews unless they're prompted or they're really happy and they just happen to do it. But people are very quick to leave a negative review. So negative reviews fit into the puzzle, so to speak, because they tie directly into the directory listings that we claimed a couple of sessions ago. And we talked about claiming, and within those citation directories. So citations, if you recall, was name, address, and phone number.
Right.
The directories are typically the super pages, the yellow pages, the 411.com or 411.ca up here in Canada. And if listeners have got to that step, they would have seen that people can also leave them reviews. So online reviews is something that is happening whether a business owner wants it to or not.
Right. Now, we've talked about online reviews and why they're super important in the past, but what is it that business owners need to understand about them if they want to be successful?
Well, there's a few things that happen with reviews. Essentially, number one, a review is written, of course, by a person, and it's read by a person. So if somebody's looking to find a restaurant or a local pub in this case, or an automotive shop, an attorney, a chiropractor, whatever they're looking for, we all know most people these days are going online. And a lot of these review directories, a lot of these reviews, whether it be a Google local review or a Yahoo or Yelp or Urban Spoon in the case of Sawbucks, or any one of the dozens of other directories out there, maybe the specialty directories such as lawyers.com or WebMD, the ability for your customers to leave reviews is not only easy, they're everywhere, and they're in the search results. So if somebody's looking for a pub in this case, and they come across Sawbucks, and let's say that was the only review, or there was a series of negative reviews and not a lot of positive reviews, that would definitely affect the bottom line of the business.
For sure.
So it's real important that a business owner, and I'll be the first to say, a lot of business owners are like, "Ooh, I don't want to do those. Those are scary.
Right.
Keep me away from those reviews." But the bottom line is, and we'll talk about how to get out ahead of that as we progress here, but the bottom line is your customers and your prospects are leaving reviews about you, or will be leaving reviews if they haven't already, whether you want them to or not. So we need to get proactive in this area, and we need to be set up in such a way that if, for example, I'll go over to the Sawbucks site right now, sawbuckspub.com. I'll scroll down the homepage a little bit here. I'll see there's a little link to Urban Spoon. 118 votes, 88% thumbs up, and there is, I think, 17 reviews. The last one here, let's just say it starts off with worst service ever, while we literally walked up and then he just goes off. Fortunately, there's just a whole list of glowing reviews below it. But you can imagine that's not really, we're not going to call this an asset to the business, so to speak. We need to deal with this.
Right.
So it's important that a business owner has a strategy in place. First of all, an understanding that these reviews are happening. But secondly, have a strategy in place that you've employed in your business to make sure you're getting positive reviews. So when you do get a negative review, and everybody gets a negative review from time to time, that it's put into context with all the positive reviews.
Now, you mentioned it, that some business owners might feel a little queasy about the idea of opening themselves up to an online review. And you mentioned that oftentimes the reviews are negative because people feel more agency to critique a business than to praise them. But what would you recommend business owners do if they have these uneasy feelings?
Yeah, it's part of business. First of all, you may want to get somebody else to deal with them for you. If the business is so personable and close, or personal and close to your, to your heart, and you're really going to take offense to the review, or it's going to give you a sleepless night or two, you may want to have somebody else deal with it, maybe a staff member, go in and in this particular case, I actually talked with Rich, who's the manager of Sawbucks last night. And of course, we're going to respond to this. And the first thing we're going to do with this review is we're going to apologize.
Yeah.
That our apologies that, this happened and there's no excuse for it. We're not going to make excuses about it. We did get a lot more customers in the pub than we ever expected, but that's not an excuse. And we're just going to apologize, and we're going to see if we can make this right. And I'm going to actually ask them to get in touch with Richard, the manager, and he will buy them dinner, or he'll do whatever he can to satisfy them, make them happy, which is a great way to deal with a negative review, because what happens is the actual responses to the review is also published. So this gives you an opportunity to demonstrate to other customers and potential customers who are looking at these reviews that that you care, and that you don't take it lightly when somebody's unhappy, and that you will do whatever you can to rectify the situation.
That's great. Now we have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back with James Martell to talk about reviews, including the biggest mistake business owners make with respect to online reviews, and how to take control of your online reputation, and even a strategy to increase the number of reviews. So a lot of good information coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Shopping for the lowest mortgage rate? Looking to refinance? Catch the Mortgage Newscast with Jared Dreyer on the Business Channel on localwebradio.fm.
Take control of your financial future with sound investing with Byron Stryloff, Senior Investment Advisor and Chartered Financial Planner with over 30 years of experience on the Business Channel on localwebradio.fm.
Buying or selling a home on the Semiahmoo Peninsula? Catch up on local market conditions on This Week in Real Estate with Lance and Connie Marples from Sutton West Coast Realty on localwebradio.fm.
All right, we're back, and I am still here with James Martell, and we are talking about online reviews, why they are vitally important for your internet success, and how to easily get more of them. We talked about the importance of reviews in that somebody on Google will read the review. That's important. But why else are reviews important for your business?
Well, you mentioned Google, and Google is looking at the reviews in a very similar way that they're looking at citations. Citations are looking, if listeners recall, the name, address, and phone number to help them identify that you are who you say you are, and you're not that somebody's not squatting on your website name and pretending to be them. And competitors have been known to do that. So there's a number of reasons that they want to verify who the business owner is and who the business is. But when it comes to reviews, they're also looking at the review as another method to help them to determine how popular your business is, so they can begin to determine where your website is going to rank in the search results. So Google actually looks at the reviews. It's part of their ranking signals, or one of their ranking signals, to help them determine where you should be listed in the local search results. And Google doesn't, just to be clear, Google doesn't actually read the reviews. They don't care what the client said. What they're looking at is how many stars were you given. So the review systems are always based on 5s, 1 to 5, 1 being very low, 5 being the best. And in a real world, if you had 2 websites that were absolutely competitively the same in the eyes of Google and everything that they look at, but one had better reviews than the other, then Google would rank that site higher than the other one, and that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay, so James, what is the biggest mistake business owners make with respect to online reviews?
They put their head in the sand and say something like, I don't want to deal with these, or they don't take the time to deal with them, or they don't really know that this is even happening. I've had this happen a few times where people are just amazed that people can actually leave a review and they can't have it taken down. Like, they're under the impression, well, I'll just have them remove it. No, there's no removing the reviews. Somebody comes in and leaves a review on Yelp or Urban Spoon in the example we shared with Sawbucks. It's staying there, and it's going to be there for a very, very long time. So they're going to be, these reviews are something that you're going to contend with whether you want to or not. So it's really just about taking the time to get some strategies in place to make sure that when a negative review does come in, that it's already surrounded by positive reviews.
Be engaged. And I guess that connects to my next question, which was, how do I increase the reviews, preferably positive reviews, but how as a business owner can I increase the amount of reviews that I'm receiving?
It's a great question. And although Google doesn't technically want us out there to be soliciting reviews and to be, really kind of promoting the whole topic, but I don't think it's unreasonable at all to ask a happy customer to leave us a review. And I'll give you an example. We've got a little flyer that I'm happy to give you the website address for. It's not our flyer. It's on a website called whitespark.ca, and they've got a little flyer generator that you can hand to a happy client or a happy customer that it tells them exactly how to leave a Google review for you. And it takes about 2 or 3 minutes for them to leave the review. It's very simple to do. And I'll give you an example. I was just talking with a client a couple weeks ago. I actually printed this flyer out for her. And all you do is you add your business name, your city and state or city and province, your business phone number, your website address, and then you can upload your logo. And then you just click on the little generate button, and it'll generate this beautiful little flyer that you can print have them in your office, have them near you where you deal with customers or where your staff deals with customers. And then when you have a happy client, ask them if they wouldn't mind leaving a review, and then give them a copy of the flyer that teaches them how to easily do that. And within 1 week of me giving our client that flyer, she had a bunch of them printed off, or probably just printed them on her own printer. She had 3 reviews.